to the Heart Connections page. That's where I put videos daily of our Heart Talk sessions, and some of those segments don't end up on social media, other areas of social media. So I try to put a segment on YouTube every day for those of you, especially when you have to get up and get away from the desk, or you may not have heard what we were talking about. The first segment, we talked about confrontation and the power of confrontation. The second segment we talked about, because it's Freedom Friday, the second segment we talked about knowing how much you are valued and knowing how much people really value you. And in light of this being Freedom Friday and today being my husband's birthday, I just want to talk to you a little bit about being free to be yourself. Really being free in who you are. And understanding that as you grow in who you are and as you grow into the person you're supposed to be, you are definitely going to outgrow some people. You're going to outgrow some circumstances and situations. You're going to outgrow some positions. And it's okay. It is okay if you find yourself in that situation. Why? Because that's a sign that you're doing what you need to do. When you were younger, just about every year, when the seasons change, your parents had to get you some new clothes and get you a new pair of shoes. Why? What were they commonly saying? You outgrew everything I bought you last year. Do you know that many of us, when we stop physically growing, we stop growing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? We get to a certain place in life and we become very complacent, or we are very unsure of ourselves, so therefore we stay in place. That's why the story of the servant with the talents. And I could not understand why the servant that put his talent in the ground, I could not understand why was he considered wicked. I really couldn't get my mind around that, and I thought that God got it wrong, or something was wrong, or maybe I was reading something wrong. Like, I couldn't understand why was this person wicked. It sounded right. I put it in the ground because when you came back, I wanted to make sure whatever. So the story is, the gist of the story is, and I will do better with getting the actual scriptures to you guys, but I heard a sermon the other day. Well, it was a teaching, and I believe it. He said, I'd much rather you know the scripture in your heart than memorizing it. So trust me, I have this thing in my heart now. I might not be able to tell you exactly where it is, but if you search it, you will find it. It's in the New Testament, and it's a parable that Jesus was telling them. I want to say it's in Luke. I know it's in the Gospels, of course, because Jesus was speaking to them. And it was like the master left one servant with 10, one servant with 5, and one servant with 1. And he told them to work until he comes back. The one he left with 10, well, the one was like, well, the numbers, I know my numbers are not right now, but just follow me with this, okay? You get it right. Go read it for yourself and get it right. So the first servant had the 10. When the master came back, he made it into 20. He was a good servant. He did what he was supposed to do. The other one came back, had the 5. He made it into 10. He did what he was supposed to do. When the one with the 1 came, all he had was 1. It was still buried in the ground. He didn't do what he was supposed to do with it. And they called him wicked. His reasoning was, I didn't want to mess it up. I wanted to make sure that when you got back, whatever you entrusted me with, I had it there for you when you got back. That sounds good enough, right? No, it didn't grow. It was supposed to grow. It was designed to grow. Jesus cursed that fig tree because it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing. It was supposed to be producing something, and it wasn't. It wasn't being fruitful. So when we're not fruitful, we become cursed. We have to be careful. The lack of being fruitful can be a curse in and of itself. And I'm not talking about spells and witches brew and bones and all kind of stuff like that. I'm talking about growth in your life. I'm talking about seeing change exponentially, emotionally, and in your relationships. When I do my talks, I hear people say, people just need Jesus. They just need the word. I agree with that. But there are layers to it. And some people have been hurt. I was watching some videos on YouTube last night with some people in the church, and I promise you, had I not had my own personal relationship with Christ, I probably would have walked away just from watching those videos. And these are people who are, have large ministries and large followings, but this stuff is just so out of line and out of order. Where am I going? I'm saying we have to grow internally. Don't think that just because somebody looks like they're doing a lot on the outside, that means that they're very fruitful. They may be busy, but it doesn't mean that they're fruitful. Are you busy or are you fruitful? Which one? Many of us, or are you productive? Maybe fruitful doesn't work for you. So are you busy or are you being productive? People tell me a lot, I can't get in touch with you. You're so busy. And I really don't like the word busy. Sometimes I get busy, but I don't like busy because for me, busy means like I'm just moving around for no reason. When I hear busy, it's like a ping pong ball. I'm just bouncing all over the place and I don't really have a purpose. I'd much rather productive because a lot of what I'm doing is purposeful. So that's why I'm tied up. But it's a part of growth. It's a part of learning. It's a part of understanding where we are. So which one are you going to be? You might be like, well, Adelai, I don't have what you have. I can't talk to people like you. You're not supposed to. Is the whole body a mouth? No, it's not. Are you toes or fingers? Maybe you're ligaments and joints. Maybe you're up under stuff that nobody sees. But guess what? If that ligament isn't in that knee, ask the person that just had the knee surgery what life is like without it. We are all needed. The skin on your pinky finger is important. If you don't think so, go ahead and rip it off. That sounds harsh, doesn't it? But it would hurt, even though that's a very small part of your body. That's what we need to understand when we understand the importance of us growing and the importance of us not staying stagnant. This is Freedom Friday. This is Feel Good Friday. And I started off the show very heavy because I just had things I had to get off. And guess what? I'm probably going to have to do that many more times. I will. But I also find that I wouldn't have had the revelation about the growth in that confrontation. That's this confrontation season. I wouldn't have the revelation of the power of the growth that's taking place when I can acknowledge these struggles and acknowledge these things that I'm going through, and also give myself grace if this has been a struggle I've been dealing with for a while. Because we get very impatient at times with ourselves and definitely others. Excuse me, I have to get some water, guys. My throat is a little scratchy. I feel so much better. I can tell y'all I ate so much honey before I came in here today. And this is off on a little side note, but you ever had that feeling in your chest when you know you're about to get sick? It's almost like the sickness is looming. It's almost like a knot in your throat. I can't really describe it. It's like when you have that bad cough, it hurts right there. I felt that. And I took some honey and I mixed it with some cumin powder. And it was like the honey, like, soothed whatever that was. And as the day is going by, so I just want to encourage you guys to not just have to run and take a pill for everything. God made nature to heal us, food to heal us, and I just feel like sometimes we just make ourselves sick with some of the things we eat and just the practices that we have as far as how we go about healing ourselves and taking care of ourselves and things of that nature. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say that because I'm feeling bad in my chest. When I started off the day, I was feeling sick. I was emotional and it's all over the place. But thank God for LJ and you guys praying for me because I feel a lot better. And I realized that a lot of this is just because of growth. And I don't want to bury my gift in the ground. And I understand that a blessing weighs a lot, just like a burden. And I want to remind you of that. Don't try to stunt your growth. Don't try to justify your lack of taking action. Be honest if you're afraid. Be honest if you're doubtful, if you're angry, if you're jealous, if you're envious, whatever you are. Be honest about it. And I have a little secret for you. It's not really a secret, but it's a secret. You don't have to tell anyone else but God. Because this is how you grow. See, what happens is many of us sow seeds in contaminated soil. And the only way to really get the soil purified, the purification process comes through connection and relationship with God, with Christ. So when you share with him what's going on with you, it starts to purify or use those same toxins in that soil. It can be used to nurture your growth and not stunt the growth or stop it altogether. But it depends on you. It depends on how you're going to look at it. That's why Jesus could not heal people in his hometown. They didn't believe. You have to believe. You have to believe that you're worthy of growing. You have to believe that you can do it. And you also have to know that you really don't have an option to not do it. Many of us will be like, I'll just struggle. I'm not going to tell them I love them. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to apologize to them. I'm just forget it. No, it's a lot. It's a lot more to life than that. It's a lot more to life than that. So you keep that in mind. Okay? You keep that in mind. And just know that your growth is not just for you. It's for everyone. If you think about a tree, an apple tree's growth is not for it. It's for everybody that's going to eat those apples. All of the animals that are going to take refuge in that tree. The people that are going to sit under there when it's hot outside or be protected from the rain. Your gift is needed. And you have to nurture it. So multiply it. Even if you have to do it through vulnerability. Do it. Don't be like that wicked servant. Don't have that false humility. Don't hide your gift. Put it up on the hill for everybody to see. You are a bright light, and so is your gift. And it needs to shine. It definitely needs to shine. So let's shine together. Let's love on each other. We'll be back with more Heart Talk at 1:30, and I have a guest. Also, Marley Cup tickets are half off until Monday, so make sure you get your tickets now. You're listening to KineticHiFi.com. Hello, guys. This is Adelai Brown. I got my hair cut yesterday. You like my new shortcut? This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach with Heart Connections, and I want to thank you guys so much for listening to the video. I would love to get your feedback. Please make sure you leave the comments below, and also make sure you subscribe below. And you can expect to get videos every day, Monday through Friday. I upload them from my Heart Talk sessions on my radio show, Heart Connections, on KineticHiFi.com, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I'd love for you to be connected. Love you guys. I'll be back.